What up, what up, what up, what up, Super Mario? Please say the super upline 30K, Uncle 30K, Senior Executive, President's Team, 8.5 years as an Herbalife distributor. This is my 9th November. That's crazy. Super excited. Fourth quarter is been an amazing journey. 1st November, I was an active Royal team member. 2nd November, I was a millionaire team member. 3rd November, 2014, President's Team. Right, by 2016, 15K, 2020, 20 and 30K. Been very exciting. You know, let's check the temperature. We gotta check everybody's temperature. I gotta know where you guys is at right now. We're not in person, so I don't know how many high fives and got hit. I don't know how many hugs the guy came. I don't know who came with a notebook, right? We could just go to the view and see who came with a notebook. Okay, Sandy. Okay, Kimmy. Okay, nothing less. Don't expect nothing less, right? Okay. Let's go. Typo, it's November, right? 1st to 2nd of the month, right? Who's off of 0? Type of 1 if you off of 0 right now, right? Got to order in, got a preferred member order in, guys. Let's go. Good. Glad to see it. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys something about what's up, new soup? What's up, Janelle? Congratulations, welcome to royalty. All right. Look, let me tell you guys something. It's a race. Anybody ever feel like that? That it's a race? It's a race. All right. You gotta beat the day. Me and my sponsor, we had this game. I feel like my sponsor, it was great. And then sometimes you look back and you be like, yo, this was toxic. The things that you made me do. He used to have this game called Beat the Day. So we were racing to make sure we had 1,000 of every day. So if it's the first, we wanted 1,000 volume points on the first. And second, like today, we would be working on being over 2,000. And then 3, like we did that a couple of months. And, you know, it would be good for like the first week and a half. We kind of go and then you kind of get burnt out. You're like, man, I don't know, 1,000 a day, you know, I don't know, we ain't gonna be we ain't gonna do it, right? But it wasn't really a race of, you know, anything. You know, you're racing time. What you're doing is just putting in, you're compressing, you're having better intention, you're getting to the point faster, right? And I think that's really what was going on. It was a beautiful time in Herbalife, I can't lie. You know, 2012, 2013, and everything else like that, through 2014. But yeah, it was a lot of no sleeping that during those times. But do you guys think, type of 2, if you think that I would trade it for anything in the world to be in that situation, and, you know, starting those games with, you know, my sponsor, and there was a couple other people who would be, you know, playing a little bit. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, right? Just signing up a gang of people, doing a lot of volume. And, you know, one of the biggest things that we did was we definitely ordered a lot of products for ourselves. And even though that's not documentable right now, I suggest that we stay in that we're ordering a whole lot of stuff, you know, for ourselves. But let's get back to that. Let's get back to that race, right? Let's get back to that competition. Who in here has a goal of what they want for their life and it's attached to a certain age that's coming up, right? I'll be 40, so I might have something that says, hey, I want to have this or this accomplished, or be making this type of income, or be at this pin level, or be living here by 40, right? Type of 3, if you have anything like that. Some of you guys are on the way to being 25 and you have a vision of where you want to be in 25 or by 30 or at 45. And these are just good markers because maybe it's just 2 or 3 years away, so it makes sense, right? Every multiple of 5 is no further than 5 years away, right? So it's a race. So like you have to get there before you get there. But who's operating like you have that type of urgency, right? Najima, you don't gotta send it to me. You can send it to the group. You don't gotta send it private, girl. You know what I'm saying? Send it to the group. You know what I'm saying? Kiera, 30 around the corner. Whew. It came fast, didn't it? Yeah. So look, it's a race, but it got to be urgency. Don't get caught with what everybody's talking about, that marathon stuff. Right? I'm a Nipsey fan too. A lot of messages are like, is a double meaning message. It's like, yeah, you don't never have to have, it's a marathon because living your life is going to be the longest thing you do. Does that make sense? Right? They say life is short, but it will be the longest thing you ever do. So it can't be that short. It's in entirety. But you can definitely work with urgency. Right? You can definitely minimize the days off that you take. How many of us take? How many guys work? It was 31 days in October. How many guys worked 31 days in October? Herbalife. Nobody? Good. Good. You don't have to work every day, right? But you got to be working every day. You got to be working on yourself every day. You have to be inviting, like, low key every day. I wouldn't be setting up 10 Zoom calls a day per se, but every day, 7 days of the week, you got to be working. Right? Shout out to all you old people. I see you guys' ages. Right? So let's race. Because what happens is the faster you get to your goals is the longer the victory lap. Once you're at a press team, it doesn't mean that you stop working, but you have that breathing room. You don't have that, like, I got to work on putting everything together. I got to work on taking care of all these things and everything. Like there's breathing room in terms of being able to take care of like obligations. And even while you're on the way, like so much stuff is going to be taken care of based on you doing the royalty and having everything going and creating a stable team and environment and everything else like that. But it's a race. How many of you guys have a competition with somebody and they might not even know that you're in competition with them? Like you're trying to beat them in top volume. You're trying to make it to active world team before them. You're trying to make it to the tab team or president's team or something like that. I mean, of course, you can have a competition where you guys know that you're in competition with each other, right? I hit president's team. It was a gang of us that hit. So Celeste Richmond, who's 20K, she hit the month before I hit. And then I hit with Jonathan Weber, Keon Owens, Corey, Khalil Blakey, right? A gang of people. And we all were pushing for each other, but I was in a race to get to 15K first, right? Like it was like, okay, yeah, we on press. And then I'm like, okay, I got to make it to 15K before Celeste because I started in March. She started in April. It's not drastic as a month because it's the end of March versus her being the very, very beginning of April. So it's like a week and a half difference. But she hit press a month before. So it's like she did it in technically 2 months shorter than me. And so, I was like, I got to get to 15K first, right? It's a competition, right? And then it's like, once we hit 15K, Then obviously we got to race to 20, right? You got to race to the next joint. And I didn't get it. And then, you know, Keon hit 20K before me. And then Jonathan Weber hit 20K before me. And then so I'm like super, and then more people hit 15K. And of course, you want that to happen because why? There's too many people in the world for us to be worried about like hitting it and nobody else hitting it. This is the mindset. You want everybody else to hit, but it's so many people. You're not trying to like hit by yourself and be like, I'm the only one that hitting, because it's not. We're in abundance mindset. So all of you guys who are, you know, hitting your new top achievers business cuts and everything, and you have this competition, oh, I want to make it to active world team. Yes, please make it to active world team before all of your sidelines, right? Qualify for everything before everybody, but don't do it in a way where you're thinking that I don't want them to also have success, because I promise you, they're not taking anything from you. And I promise you're not taking anything from them. None. Plenty of it. I have all my press team members live close. One lives like less than a mile this way. The other one lives less than a mile that way. And then the second line ones live down the way. But we didn't necessarily take any, well, TG was supposed to be my front line, so maybe that's not all the way true. I'm joking, right? Right? But in general, right, it's too many people. It's too many people. So you gotta be in the race, right? And then me and Keon hit 30K together. And then, you know, Jay Webb hit 30K. And then some of the other homies hit 30K. So it's super exciting because the way your life changes, you definitely want as many people to be in that same category as you. Like you want as many people to be on the tab team so that when you have tab team events, you have your friends with you. I hope that you guys look at it like that. Like I want my friends with me. I want you to be doing volume. I want to talk, you know, crap about your volume only because there's things that's going to lead for us being together. Right? So does anybody need somebody to like be in competition with or hold them accountable to volume? Like type something in the chat. The type of, okay, we'll be on 4. Type of 4 in the chat if you need to be in competition with somebody. Like you don't have anybody to like look at or, you know, anything. Right. First off, if you're on my team, when I post top volume, pick a name. That's all you got to do if you're on my team and you're a supervisor. If you're not a supervisor, none of this is applicable. Get to supervisor first this month. Like let November be your supervisor month if you're not a supervisor right now. Welcome to the team if you're brand new. Mama, you got somebody to be competitive with. She came out of you. Your daughter is top volume. You have the most competition that anybody could have if you actually wanted it. Like, let that be the competition. And you know, it's only like 18,000 volume points. You guys could definitely catch up to Annie and Seven and Adrian. You guys could definitely beat these guys, right? Especially Adrian. He's about to burn out. I could see him getting tired. I don't think he's. You can only talk like this to the people that you know are in it. You can only talk like this to the people that you know are taking the challenge, show up, and are about to be, you know, crazy. So salute to everybody who's doing their thing. You got to be in the race though. You got to be prepped for the race. So how many guys ever ran track? Were you like track runners? Type of 5 if you were a track runner. Right? Raquel with them little legs, we don't believe you. Right? Were you not prepared for the race? I came with Marcus all day. Do you not prepare for your race? Are you not stretching? Right. So since we're in the race, let's get prepared for the race. Right. So personal development. That's like your daily stretching. That's gonna give you your flexibility in how people come at you and how you're dealing with interpersonal interactions, you know, random people that you're going to meet as you're doing, you know, face to face, responses that you have online. Your personal development helps with your flexibility, your pliability, how much you can endure, right? Your patience. That's all the stretching. That's all in there is being set up like that. So who in here is okay, let's do if you like type a B for books and an A for audio that you are personally doing for your personal development right now, like that you're personally doing. And type a 0 if you're not doing either of them. I see you guys, a lot of the A's, a lot of the A's, a lot of the A's. A lot of the A's. Okay, cool. Okay, everybody on my first page, this is what I want because some people might need some help. Everybody on my first page, type in the book that you're listening to if you are an A. And none of you guys know if you guys are on my first page. Right? Leadership, type it in the thing, right? Type the whole thing, not 10x, 10x rule. Type the actual book names. There you go. If you guys do not know what to listen to, scroll through the chat. Screenshot the chat. Right? If you do that, write them down, right? You could just write down an abbreviation, write them all down, download them all on Audible. You're gonna have something going to finish this 90 days. If you're finishing your 90-day plan this year, into the first quarter of next year, at least. I've seen 20 books just right now, and I've seen a gang of them that I've listened to that I would definitely recommend, right? For the race. If you're in here to go fast, right? The whole point is finishing a goal and going fast. That's why we're gonna race. Right? I don't know what a Dave Hollis is, but we got the 4 agreements for sure. 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. I'm gonna name the good ones. Tribal leadership. How to win and influence people. Fire. The 4 agreements. The Alchemist. Les Brown said, choosing your future. Start with why. Is that Simon Sinek? The Power of Now. The Secret. The Power. The 5 a.m. Club. Like it. Love it. Love it. Mind of a Mental Giant. Guess who that is? That's Mark Hughes. Think and Grow Rich. Right? Ratana with the teacher's pet answer. No books, just a Jim Rohn and Mark Hughes videos. But that's a very, very good answer. I promise you. Get all of Jim Rohn and Mark Hughes down first, and then everything else secondary. This is, I don't care what anybody in Herbalife will ever say, or anybody in any other industry will ever say about anything. But what we do here, and if somebody who's in Herbalife don't say this exact same thing, I don't trust them. Do all the Mark Hughes and Jim Rohn first, and then everything else is secondary, because they're going to give you our type stuff, our company type stuff, our philosophies type stuff, our culturally relevant stuff for us to be able to go fast and be permanent. They're going to be first. And then all that, I wouldn't, and I love all of these books. And, you know, let me see if somebody ever got to Outwitting the Devil. Ah, Shelby, I see you. Be Obsessed or Be Average. Right. Nice, nice. 12 Pillars, Richest Man in Babylon. Nice. Right. Mark Hughes and Jim Rohn first for all of you guys, especially brand new people. Founder of the company. Right. Our personal development guru, who all these people that you name, all these books, most of them all listen to Jim Rohn. Obviously, I wouldn't attribute like a Napoleon Hill had listened to Jim Rohn, saying that he was a predecessor. You know, same with, you know, Carnegie. But besides that, mostly everybody else, all the Les Browns, like Jim Rohn was like the mentor, Tony Robbins, all of them, Jim Rohn was like the mentor. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely got to do that. So for the race, are you stretching right? This is gonna be key. Why? And you know, we had a tab team call, and I love talking with the tab team, which tab, for you guys who don't know, is Top Achievers Business. So that's the global expansion team members and up in the higher levels, is because we all get a chance to, you know, be honest about what we're going through, and then like what do we see within the team and everything, right? And it's the personal development that gets you in the place where you're always where you're at. Like it gets you to become dependable, right? Your team, whether you have it or not, right? Your team, whether it's your downline I'm talking about or your uplines and sidelines, depend on you. And you should take that responsibility, like you should make it a responsibility. You should take it to heart. You know what I'm saying? Like we depend on you. I'm depending on you guys to hop on this line and make the Monday call have 258 people, 358 people, 400. It like I'm depending on, I can only show up as one. As much as I would like to be more, when I log on, I'm only going to represent the one box. Same with you. So for this call to not just make sense, but to realize the impact of it, right? For other people to use it as a way to show the importance of it or show that you're committed, right? You got to be like, yo, I'm on with the 200, with the 300. That's what I'm about today, right? Your story matters. Like we're depending on you having a great story. We're depending on you to have great results. We're depending on you to have some monetary gains, profit, team growth, royalty payouts, so that we could talk about it. And your story matters when you have the results, right? And so we're depending on you. Just like I hope that you guys, like I feel like you guys like need me. Not just because I sponsored people on this line and then they sponsored the rest of you guys, but because I have a story that you can use. You represent a whole genre, a whole population of people, right? I'm gonna type mine in, and I'm gonna let you guys also type yours in to see if you understand who you're gonna represent, right? Right? Unemployed, out of shape, alcoholic, felon, going through depression at 30 years old. That's the story. That's who I represent. And none of that means nothing if I stayed a supervisor for 8 years. It doesn't galvanize. It doesn't bring anybody. It doesn't give hope. There has to be a whole lot of progress because people are depending on people that you guys know have to have heard my story. They're going to need that. Who do you represent? Some of you guys are mother of 2 kids, both babies, both tiny, right? Working 2 jobs already that need that. Like we need you to be successful so we can tell your story. We don't need your story. We need you to be successful to tell your story. As of now, the story don't mean nothing. You sound like everybody else. You sound like the people that we want to tell the success to. We're all the same. My story is not unique. My story is common. That's why it has to have some success attached to it so we can tell it to all these common people. Right? Overweight, lazy, depressed, unfocused, husband and father. We need you to get energized, leaned out, and moving up the marketing plan so that we can tell your story to the rest of the overweight, lazy, depressed, unfocused husbands out there and fathers. Overweight, stripper, miserable mom with a self-sabotaging mindset that dropped out of high school. That doesn't mean nothing until she lost 60 pounds, right? Became a better mother, started consistently earning over like $5,000 a month. Now there's a story to tell to the rest of the strippers and bad mothers or miserable, excuse me, and dropouts. Does that make sense? Single mom working 2 jobs, had to move back home with the parents. Who needs to hear this story? Nobody, because it's everybody's story. But who needs to hear the triumph? Everybody's trials are the same. You're not different. I'm not different. I'm not special. Same trials, same mistakes, same pathway as everybody else. And then you get a chance to be triumphant. And then that's what makes it so that I need you guys. That's why the other 250 people on the line need you so that we can look at these things. Now, if you go to your joint, right? This is what we want. This is what we want. I want you guys to write down, as you guys can see some of the people who have wrote those things in the chat, so you have an example, right? What I want you guys to do is write yours on your page. Write yours in your notes. And it's a quick sentence. It's just a description. It's like part of your 30-second story, right? If I tell it, yo, I'm Super Mario, man, when I started Herbalife, man, I was fresh out of jail, man, unemployed, battling alcoholism, definitely not the athlete that I was, right? Felon. Like, it's a sentence. I want y'all to write it down. And it doesn't have to, look, at a 250 something people, not all of us got miserable lives before we had Herbalife. I hope not. Right? Society kind of sucks, so it might be. But there's some people who wasn't doing that bad. Maybe just hey, I'm a little chubby, but hey, I got a good job, right? But write down where it is, how you feel mentally, if your energy was bad, if you need some better, like if the family life isn't good, like it doesn't have to be bad. It just has to be realistic. We live in a society where it can't be no cap. I don't want you guys to be capping. I don't want you to have to, overdo the story, but it has to be real. But no matter where it is, when you write it on your page, this is what I want you guys to write next. And now I'm a press team member. Depressed, single mother of 3, divorced, widowed, overweight, and unmotivated. Anxious, with OCD, barely surviving, living paycheck to paycheck. Surviving domestic violence. And now I'm a presidency member. Well, shoot, me too. Well, if she can, so can I. You ain't got to say, when you can just put, now I'm a presidency member, after whatever your story is, it doesn't matter what else you said. You don't have to say, and I worked hard and I did this and I went to the training and I did. You could just say that and other people are going to be like, well, there has to be something here for me. What life is giving you, it's on you to make the story about it. Because until you put the triumph at the end, until you put the gold medal at it, until you cross the finish line of the finish line on the way to many finish lines, right? Your story is just it's a so what me too. And that does nothing for nobody. You got to get to the point where people are saying me too, and then, well, shoot, why not me? They're saying me too to how you started, and then they're saying, well, why not me to where you at and where you going, what you've already accomplished. Like that's what we're here for. Y'all got it all wrote down, right? And now, no, we're not doing world team. We're doing press team. We're doing press team. Because that's the things you have to say, right? That's the things you have to say. If you say it, it's going to bring a vibration, right? Your voice vibrates. You need to say it so you create the vibration, but you're also hearing what you say. So you're going to absorb the vibration. Do you not understand that because you have that much control over vibration and the entire quote unquote universe vibrates, then like you literally are going to be able to create your reality based off what you say. That's kind of how it works. Not even kind of, really how it works. So when you say it, you have to say, this is where I've started. Even if you're great, even if you're mill team right now. And now I'm a press team member. Even if you're making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month, and now I'm a press, because we got a long way to go. And with that, with the power of your story, right? With the power of you being in the race, right? You're laced up. People have seen the dedication. People have seen what you're doing day to day. When we talk about DMOs and daily methods of operation, that's your practice. That's your, I'm in the grind. So it makes sense for me to be in the Olympics. It makes sense that I'm part of the race. It makes sense that I'm legendary. It makes sense that I'm going to be on a podium or I'm on a stage. Herbalife is already letting you know what you get. There's a medal for being in a race, right? For saying it's bigger than me, so I can make the sacrifices. There's a medal. For saying I'm in it until, and then there's nothing after the until. It just is. It's understanding that when people say get rich or die trying, is not saying I'm going to do something that's going to kill me. It's going to say that the get rich is just a goal. I'm going to go to my goal and I'm going to go until death. Like I have to be, I'm always goal oriented. So I'm going. So when I die, I'm going to be in the process of going. I'm not quitting, even when it's the end. Right? They said there ain't no rewards today. I got to do it because my family need it. I got to do it because of everybody. I love the family, but I think I have to be the one. I have to be the one that mom calls and I have them. I have to be the one that brother, sister. I have to be the one for my kids, my children, and then beyond. Right? They don't make no reward for that. Trophies. Trophies. They give awards for that. They been lying. They give all kind of rewards for that. They be lying. Do you not think that they ain't gave us stuff that represented a lot of impact the whole time, forever? That is not always something, man. We about to be legendary. You about to be legendary. It's a good month. November is a good month to remind yourself. November is a good month to be back focused. So, right, let's talk about some preparation. So there's also preparation, right? You're stretching, then you're prepared. So maybe sometimes in the race, you got different climates, you got different weather. Sometimes you're just shorts and the tank. Sometimes you're running in tights because it's gonna get colder. Sometimes who knows what you gotta have, right? November is one of those months where you have to have a different type of preparation. This is really a race against time. Like you want to be, if you have goals, right? Some of us need to, not some of us, right? Most of us are finishing out. If you're a supervisor, right? Let's talk about what you guys got going on. If you're a brand new supervisor in 2020, you hit supervisor the first time this year, type a 6 in the chat. So those who were supervisors this year, your goal is to become active supervisor this year. And we have a future tab school that we qualified that's going to be in December that counted for you doing your 2,500, right? Which gets you the full royalties, which makes you an active supervisor by doing it in September, October, and then finishing out in November. Type of 7 if you've been a supervisor before 2020. Right? Your future tab school qualification is 3,500 for 3 months. Right? You can do it in 1 month too. You can do 10,500. So if you miss a cut, you didn't do it. But at 3,500, right? It says future tab. What do you think that 3,500 represents? It represents you qualifying for your production bonus that happens when you're a tab team member. Right? Nothing in Herbalife is free. It's all earned, but we earn at a very, very high clip. Right? They want you to be doing more than 2,500. They don't want you to sneak your 2,500 in, your 2,507 or anything else. They want you to be in process. They want you to be in production so that your team could be growing and building because you want to make it to the next percentage level, going from 2% to 4%, you know, as a millionaire team member and qualify. So you get a chance to qualify this year to go to a future tab school where you're going to get trained by some of the best Herbalife distributors in the world. That's awesome. And so since it's November, you got to race before like all the traveling happens with what people do for Thanksgiving and everything else. Right? Because you know that people are going to take days off. There's also what's going to happen is there's going to be Black Friday. So you want to race to make sure you can service the needs of your customers, potential customers, future customer, preferred member, before, not just before they go shopping, because you want people to have whatever type of life they want, right? But to just make sure that you're there for them if they're still priority minded. I'm not the type of person that says, oh, y'all buying a TV again for another year. It's cool. I just want to know if anybody that I've helped, anybody who told me their why and why they want to lose weight or why they even became a distributor and wanted to earn money, if they still have that as a priority in their life. I'm just going to have my conversation be based around that, based around their goals, and get that done before everything, before all the crazy stuff comes. Sure, you might get some sales on Cyber Monday and small business Saturday or whatever kind of stuff they be making up. Every day got a day. What's today? Does anybody know what today is? What's today? National what day? Today should be National Love Thy Neighbor Day just because tomorrow's the election. Hug somebody before you find out who wins because they might have voted for the other person or people. I don't know. Well, today's national stuff, but you got to get stuff done early, right? Because not just are you thinking about what people are going to be going through in terms of where they're going to be allocating their own shopping and spending, and you want to be included in that, but because we're dealing with delivery delays, possibility, right? Extensions on stuff. So what do you have to have? Do you have samples that you need? Do you have to have your nutrition club stocked up? You know, what type of things do you have to have that's going to be dependent on what's going to be going on as the increase of deliveries, right? A lot of places are still closed, and or a lot of places it still makes sense to just do more online shopping. It's going to go crazy through 2021, right? It's going to go crazy. So it's how much are we going to be ahead of the game to make sure that you're ready to do the things? Are you going to be able to stay on your goals good enough? Right? We have products dropping next week. We have products dropping the week after next. Like, no, product dropping this week and then products dropping next week, excuse me. Be on that brand new. Right? So are you set up with that good enough? Are you set up with, well, what do people going to need throughout the holidays? Do I personally take the products that I want people to take, like Thermobond? Do I have the products like, you know, Aminogen, Prolesa Duo, Liftoff? What do people need right now? Snack Defense, Pumpkin Spice, Self-Defense. If they're going to Walmart, I guess so. Camellia, yeah. Right. What things are you going to be trying to like get people to have a connection to that you also have to be a product of? Right? Does that make sense? So you got to race on that. And then you yourself are going to be going to Immunity Essentials. It's getting cold. Thank you. We could name all of the products, of course. But we got to be prepared for what the end of the month and going into the end of the year. All these things, we're just forward thinking and saying, well, for my own personal business, we already know Herbalife's going to do its best. There's things that's beyond our control in all types of aspects of manufacturing, delivery, supply chain, everything. But what can I control about my business that I can't blame on anybody else? Right? Taking my own products, talking to enough people. Right now, you have to, these last 2 months, you have to work twice as hard because there's twice as many distractions that you're going to have over these next 2 months compared to probably anywhere else, any other time in the year. And this is an every year thing, right? The holidays are twice as big as any other type of holidays or observances. And it spreads across many genres of religions and beliefs and everything else, you know, at the same time as well. Right now with 2020, with the election, people are going to be distracted, and they're going to be distracted by negativity. So there comes a point where we have to become beyond positive. This is all I'm saying. You can invite anybody to drink a shake. You can invite anybody to a workout, and you can have a conversation about nothing that's the differences. And you can only be talking about the similarities that we have, and we all want to be healthy, and we all want to have fun, and we all like things that taste good. We got to be on the front end of that. Y'all with that? All right, cool. I think I just had deja vu. Did I say that before? Y'all ever heard me say something like this before? Right? It's a race. It's a race. The marathon continues. Right? But this is the thing of what you got to do, right? You got to run very, very hard. Right? You got to be working very, very hard. Why? Because you have to get to a place where you're about to burn out. Because just like regular people that do running, it's tough, it sucks. And then there's that place where, oh, now I'm cruising. Like it's gone, the pain's gone, and it's just running. Right? Your struggle about what you have to do every day is gone, and you're just invite, follow up, go to the meeting. come through. And it's not robotic. It's just what you're doing now. When people are running, they run, it's gone. And then it's just keep my breath, stay relaxed, unclench my jaw, and go. Now, how many of us are operating like that throughout the week? Are we just like non-hectic? How do you do so much volume? It don't even seem like you're working. Doesn't even seem like you're. It's the same thing. You get into this place where everything is almost running itself, and there's just a little bit of you adding more people to what's already going on that's doing what it's naturally doing. Like you're already doing it, and you're just adding people through the conversations and the channels, right? Or the method that you're normally been doing to go get people anyway. I promise you, making it to press team, I can't say that it was hard. And I'm sorry if that's not your experience. I can't say it's hard. It wasn't. It wasn't. And it's not like I didn't work to where I was tired. You know, Mia can definitely attest that she caught me and she would catch me and I'm like this, knocked out at the table. Like I'm going that long until everything's going. Without the MacBook, I'm working on a phone and the iPad. And the iPad was not even like kosher because I bought it from the homie. I know people that stuff fall off the truck. So that it wasn't, I didn't have like all the Apple ID or nothing on that one. Can somebody jailbreak an iPad? Do they do that? I don't know. Like on the grind, on the way. Right. I can't say that it was hard. It was so fun. Right. And it was so much of a welcomed challenge. Right. Some of you guys enjoy working out and people are like, oh, that's heavy and you're like enjoying it. Like I enjoy the challenge of pushing myself to the limit, lifting the weights, doing a gang of burpees or whatever else, a lot of squats and whatever else you got to doing. And you're like, oh, okay, well, it must be hard to get that ripped up. And you're just sitting there like, I mean, I guess, but I wanted to, so it wasn't hard. Like I wanted to get the press, so being up late or doing 10,000 volume points, 15, 20,000 volume. I guess it was hard. If you call lifting weights hard, if you call running 10 miles hard, if you call sponsoring people or if you call talking to people hard, you don't have to classify anything. Everything is exactly what you determine it is, right? You have anxiety, well, could you keep saying it? Everybody I know who says they got anxiety, I'd be like, well, show it to me. Like, why are you calling it that? Somebody else called it that and you accepted it and now you claim it. So I promise you're going to keep it forever until you don't. Oh, talking to people is hard. I guess it is. I'm not good at talking to people or speaking in front of crowds. I guess you're not. You're right. Whatever you say, I can't talk you out of that. Because once you say it, that's more powerful than what I can say to you because it's your universe. Universe starts with a U. You're creating every single thing to be exactly how you want it to be, apparently, because you say it. What we have to do is not say the things. And you want to be around until you become the person that catches people when they say things. So do that. Be like, I guess you is. Man, how you doing today? Okay, just okay. All right, cool. I already want to leave because I don't want to be around okay people. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm better than okay. I just usually say okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, there's power. We already know it's power in the words. Right? So for everything that you guys want, just say the things differently. Even if it's true, just say, I'm getting better at this. I'm working on this. Right? Don't say I am broke, I am terrible, I am lazy. You know what I'm saying? because it's part of the race. I was a track runner. Guess what they taught us in track? And I'm sure all the rest of the people know, visualization. And I can guarantee you, every single person who is really in some competitive stuff, or they're thinking about, they visualize it in its almost entirety before it happens. I dream about the things I have to do now. Like when I got to do trainings and stuff, I have dreams about them like the day before, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like I have to visualize it. Why? Because I have to give myself the desired outcome. Because if I leave it up to the other voice that's not real, but it's always there, I'm gonna probably I feel like I'm about to do a bad job on a call for somebody, on a call for the entire nation of Herbalife, big events at Extravaganza, going to these leadership development weekends, and there's legends in the front row. If I let the little voice that's there but it's not real have its way, I'm gonna suck today. Right? But instead, I gotta visualize everybody laughing at my jokes, everybody taking notes, all the slides making sense, which is just, use word talk. So are we visualizing and verbalizing what we want to manifest and what we want to create and who we want to become? In the race, right? Get locked in. We have a great week of everything. Tomorrow, calls start. Wednesday, there's calls. Thursdays, there's calls. Friday, there's probably calls. Saturday, Sunday, there's calls. Make sure you know what's going on so you can design your day for the highest amount of learning, and even bigger and more important, the highest amount of invitation that you can have with the calls that are designed for you to utilize to be able to grow your client base and your distributorship. Okay? And then make sure we do that every week. And this is a note to self. Like I have to mentally say, oh, let's get ready to invite to the Herbalife National Opportunity Meeting call. It's an invitation call. There's not another one tomorrow. So I have something to do, to have something in terms of messages to be sent today, things to post today, tonight, and very, very early in the morning. So there's enough time to get it out. Does that make sense? It's just being very good daily. It's being very good daily. Every leg of the race, you have to run and win that leg, win that day. Because tomorrow, you got to do it again. When you pass the baton, you have to say, I have done the best before I pass the baton. And you're passing the baton to yourself every day. Don't put yourself behind because you're on your own team. So do the things that keep you winning and leading and feeling good. Because I promise you sometimes you hand it out to yourself. You're like, man, they far. I'm not even going to catch up. And it goes. All question is good question. I'm gonna respect the time. Let y'all get into y'all Monday evenings. All question is good question. Y'all can raise your hand in the app, and I will call on you. Right? Congratulations to everybody that qualified for Timber Move. Start oh, Liz, you going? I see you. Nothing. All right, don't be trying to hop on afterward because I know how it be. You know what I'm saying? Turn up.